Yeah, a couple of you. Wonderful. Welcome aboard. If you are returning, then welcome back. Now, a quick safety reminder, I do need you guys completely seated at all times as we journey through the reserve today, whether the truck is in motion or not. If we do have any lap sitters, that is A-OK. Just make sure that they are indeed seated on those laps at all times for me, not being held in the air for a better view or being passed from parent to parent, lap to lap. It's also photo taking sparring, so feel free to take all those photos and videos you would like. But make sure that you keep a firm grasp on those devices, because I'm not authorized to stop or turn around for anything that might fall out of the vehicle. The roads out here in Harambe are very bumpy as a result of them being unpaved. Now over there on the right, that brown animal with those black and white striped legs, that's an okapi. Now a lot of people think that because of those very distinguishable legs that they have, that they might be related to the zebra. They are not, don't be fooled. They're actually the only living relative of the giraffe. They have a similar skull structure to that giraffe, as well as a prehensile tongue. And that term prehensile means that they have the ability to grab and pull on objects. So if that branch isn't quite low enough for them to grab with their jaw, they can still reach up with that 13 to 18 inch long tongue. Wrapped around those leaves, rip them off, and still have themselves a nice hefty meal. Up there on the right, looking right at us, that's a greater kudu. There's a couple of them. They can actually weigh as much as 750 pounds fully grown. And then on the left, those are black rhinos. There's one right up against that red clear over there on the left, but I'm going to stop next to this one because it's much closer.
Did you see it?
There are less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the entire world. That includes in the wild as well as in the care of humans. So unfortunately, those two are 2 of 5,000. Now the reason those numbers are so low is because humans have been hunting them for their horns. This is illegal. It's known as poaching. And those horns are made of the same material as our fingernails and our hair. It's called keratin, so scientists have still yet to find a scientific purpose for humans to have access to those horns. Over on the right, you're going to see all those reddish chestnut brown colored antelope. Those are bongos. Now the bongo is known as the ghost of the forest because they are so rarely seen. And those horns that they have, they will make one complete spiral from start to finish. Helps them to maneuver through that underbrush without being hindered by it, so it's a pretty nice feature when they're trying to evade those predators, as it prevents their horns from getting all caught and tangled in the low-hanging branches and vines that they're running through. Alright, next up we're going to head on down to the Safi River, see if we can find any river-dwelling animals out here today. Chances are, if you're in the wild and you come across a large body of water, if you're looking to see some wildlife, just hang tight. Most animals do need to frequent water sources in order to survive. So you are likely to be visited by something. Now down there on the right, there's 2 hippos in the water. We're not all going to see it at once, so I'm not going to stop it. It will go very slowly for you. Try to get that quick glimpse. Hippos, they can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. They'll do so even while sleeping underwater. So every 8 minutes while sleeping, their bodies will naturally rise to the surface. Take a gulp of that fresh air and then go back down. They don't even have to wake up to do that. Over there on the left, there's a whole bloat of hippos. Now a bloat is what we call a group of hippos. They actually don't tend to leave the water during the day. That's not because they're afraid of predators, as they are considered one of the most dangerous animals in all of Africa. Do make sure we're keeping those seats not changing. That involves standing up. So the reason they stay in that water is because they're protecting their bodies from the heat and their skin from the sun. And then at night they will travel miles away from the safety of that water to graze on the grasses and vegetation on land. Those white birds on the left, on those islands, those are pink-backed pelicans. They get that name because during their mating season, their back feathers will indeed turn a pinkish color. And they're also colonial nesting birds, so they'll nest in groups of 20 to 500 pairs. So you could potentially see as many as 1,000 of them nesting in one place at a time. Down there on the left, those are Nile crocodiles. Everyone seated at all times for me, please. Well, the Nile crocodile can grow to be as long as a giraffe is tall. It's about 20 feet long. They're also cold-blooded animals. They do have that extra hindrance, having to regulate their own body temperature, which they'll do in a couple of ways. The first and more obvious way is that they can go down into the water, go for a swim. They do have another alternative option, though. They can stay on the bank and stay dry if they don't want to get wet. All they have to do is open their mouths. They will release enough body heat just from opening those mouths to significantly reduce that body temperature. Now it's a good thing I don't have that ability because my mouth is open almost this entire trip, so I'd be pretty chilly by the end of it. Now that strange looking tree over there on the right, that's a baobab tree. Also known as the upside down tree for obvious reasons. Those branches do tend to look a little bit more like roots than like actual branches. Now those branches, they can go up to 9 months out of the year without any leaves on them at all. definitely doesn't help their case when they're trying to look like branches. Now we're headed on down to the Savannah and Serengeti grasslands. And over there on the right, you're going to be able to see a couple of really tall animals. Those are Maasai giraffes. And you can tell that they're Maasai giraffes because of their irregular spotted pattern. Reticulated giraffes have a more net-like pattern. Smoother, crisper lines dividing those spots, and less of that white surface area surrounding them all together. If you would like to compare and contrast those spotted patterns, you actually can, because the reticulated giraffe is featured up on your animal spotting guides. While again, those ones are Maasai giraffes. Now giraffes, they only sleep for about 30 minutes a day, and they will do so either standing up or sitting down, but you will almost never see a giraffe lie completely down and rest that neck on the ground. That would put them in their most vulnerable position. Maybe giving up that vantage point to their